Hey, fantastic fam. Welcome to our community where we combine the woo and the work. We are two professional women who believe we can have it all and constantly upgrade ourselves to meet our visions. I'm Kalyani and I've chosen the off-roading path to personal development, being an entrepreneur with the journey of motherhood. I'm an economics postgraduate and I love working with all things mind and money. I've founded and sold one business and I'm now building this business that feels like fun and freedom for life.
Hi, I'm Rupali. I'm a numbers nerd turned Reiki master and many other things. I found a passion for all things wellness. I've worked in banking and finance for 15 years and I love combining that knowledge with all things energetics to create impact in a fun, easy way for others. Join us as we share the behind the scenes of us creating wealth, freedom, and magic. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today's topic is about something that's been on my mind, ease and flow. How do you allow more ease and flow into your life? Now, what does ease and flow mean? What I think is that it means a different thing for different people. So, how do you define what ease and flow is for you? Think about times when you've had a day that's had nothing out of the ordinary, but things have just felt good. Things have just flowed in the way you feel they should. You've not had to think about any new thing that's come up. You've not had to, you didn't feel like you were running out of time that day. It was just, like I said, just flowed with so much ease, essentially. So, how do you do something like that? How do you allow more of that? I think that a big part of allowing ease and flow is firstly to define what that means. And if there's any specific practice you feel brings ease and flow into your life, of course, add that in. But here's a small framework that you could work through to understand what what you could do to encourage or to allow ease and flow into your day-to-day life in simple ways. An important one is just mindfulness. I think the big kind of the culture right now is to do it all, to do everything all at once, and to multitask constantly. So, if that's you, then think about how you can spread your tasks out. Think about how you can prioritize your tasks. What I think of is a nice tool that I've come across is called the Eisenhower Matrix, and that's really to define what's urgent and what's important. Something that's not urgent and not important, delegated. Someone that's not important but urgent, delegated. Something that's urgent and important is what you need to focus on. So really know what for yourself what urgent and what important means. Then um, once you kind of go through that to reduce your tasks, because we do end up, like I said, we end up taking too much on. Once that's done, I think that mindfulness is a big thing. So it's about creating space in your day for you to just be. Because if you're constantly living and constantly doing, you're not being. So allow, even if it's just 5 minutes of just deep breaths, 5 minutes while you're drinking tea, just looking out to the into the garden, or mindfully just tasting your tea, feeling how it feels, the temperature of it, the taste of it, basic mindfulness exercises, which you can Google off. There are so many, and you'll have to find the one that really works for you because you want to be consistent, even if for 5 minutes a day. Not doesn't have to be a 2 hour meditation or something like that. Then a big one for women, I think, is that we don't allow ourselves to step into the feminine energy, and we don't allow ourselves to receive. So, how do you allow yourself to receive more? One easy way is to, when someone's offering help, someone's providing anything you need, say thank you and accept it. A lot of women say, no, no, I don't need it. No, no, thank you. But, because that's our default sometimes. Because we don't want to have to, some people may not want to have to depend on anyone. I think we grew up in a culture where being feminine was considered weak, but really tap into the feminine energy. And that's for men and women, I think, also, because if men are too much in their masculine with not enough feminine, that can also become an issue. And there are multiple examples I can think of in this case. So asking for help and receiving help is a big, big, big one. Ask for help where you need it. If there's something, like I said, you need to delegate something, ask for help. Help. and be okay with it. And if your body's not okay with it, ask yourself why. Think about why. What's the problem? What's the resistance in that case? Then a couple of other points are set boundaries to protect your time and energy. So what I've done is that my WhatsApp and essentially every app on my phone is on silent mode. So I don't receive any notifications until I open the app. So then I've taken some of the control into my hand. The issue was that when people message on WhatsApp, they assume that you're available straight away and you're always available. And if people phone, you're always available. So I think really making that space and setting boundaries for yourself is very, very important. And how you do that is something you'd have to work out. Sometimes when I open WhatsApp, I take days to reply to messages, especially if I know it's not that urgent. Then I do allow myself days to take days to reply. I know people that struggle seeing unread messages or unread emails for that matter, but I allow myself the space. I've created some boundaries to control that aspect of my life. So I think that this really sums up what I was thinking of about ease and flow. Really look at your day to day. Which aspects of it are not allowing ease and flow currently, are not conducive to ease and flow, don't feel good, feel heavy in your body. Light and heavy is a tool that I always rely on. If something feels heavy and you're like, oh, then you know it's not for you. But if it feels light, if it feels fun, if it feels like it's fueling you, then that's something that's for you. So maybe take a moment here and assess how is it that you can kind of assess your day basically to allow more ease and flow. All right, that brings us to the end of this episode. Do share your thoughts. If you have any experiences, questions, our social media handles are all mentioned below.
We would really appreciate your feedback as reviews on the podcast app you tune in from. Support us also by sharing this podcast with 3 of your besties who would benefit from being fantastic.